regarding his WWE Hall of Famer Ted DiBiase of his main dollar man price, saying, also how Ted DiBiase became a WWE a million dollar man, saying, Ted Darcy, Ted, Ted DiBiase had already built a strong reabilities in the personal wrestling business long before he became known to WWE fans as a million dollar man. After his entry from mission into one of wrestling's most memorable opponents, remains one of the best symbols of how to avoid his clinical side. Adding to the point with the right a performer can completely change in his amazing talk career. Ted DiBiase entirely the business with personal wrestling already in his blood, has the son of Arnold Mike Ted DiBiase. He had a direct to connections to his dynasty before cutting his own path inside the ring during the late 1970s. Ted DiBiase competed under his real name and likely to earn respect, has a theocracy to gifted a performer with the ability to connect with his fans. After his early career, including a Monster Championship associated in late 1979, Ted DiBiase became the first WWF North American heavyweight champion, giving the fans an early look at the talents and a confidence that will ever hope to find his most famous his character Eduardo. Also has many fans to was remember him for the fuzzy suits and was an alternate laugh in his in-ring advertisement was already from in place in 30 years was the million dollar man personal arrived. Ted DiBiase also made a muscle impact outside WWE during the international era. He worked for the promotions such as Main South Wrestling in the Universal Wrestling advertisements, and where he became one of the most respected all-around performers into the business. Those years helped him develop both a serious in-ring wrestler and a was believable talker of two qualifiers that later made the million dollar man his character so innovative. After his time of was vocally independent, Ted DiBiase was not success overnight passing through the first he was a star who worked with most opponents and helped carry his storylines during a period when there was no wrestling. The still had strong Mongol closet that experiences gave him the kind of closet that made his little daily resources feels on instead of Ted DiBiase also expanded his amazing career outside North America during the early days 1980s, and he spent a time competing in All Japan Pro Wrestling, where he worked against some of the toughest and most respected wrestlers in the world, and that experiences helped body his timing, particularly in storytelling. It also added more path to his being a performer who was already to consider one of the more visible names of his era. I knew still Ted DiBiase had not yet found his character that will turn him into a mainstream wrestling encounter that changed in early days 1987 when he returned to the WWF with a completely new wrestling instead of painting himself as a traditional apparel. Ted DiBiase became the main dollar man and argument Martin was many men who believed even in everything had a price. So his wrestling championship was little to facilitate leading into the tournament at WrestleMania with Ted DiBiase reached the finals before losing it to the Randy Muscle Man Randy Savage. The early days. So let me see here a second. I like Ted DiBiase, his main dollar prize. I like this character of him as a dollar man. After he creates his own stories and stories, I like his suits. The center prize, the dollar man, is a personal competitor, and he was really good at his part on his under the ring name has Ted DiBiase has his main doubt championship prize. He has great, amazing time in his career at Personal Wrestling. So after he was a WWE Hall of Famer of the main dollar man has the prize. I like his character and his stories, the early days into the years of WWF. It spent many of years. So when I do hard announce regard to Ted DiBiase on his character, we like this video, and don't forget to select subscribe and Until next time, peace.